6 feet 9 inches tall and weighs roughly 250 pounds. Across more than 2 decades in the NBA, he became the league's all-time leading scorer, earned more All-NBA selections than any player in history, and built a resume that spans multiple generations of basketball. But those accomplishments all came in one timeline. What if they didn't? What if LeBron James had entered the NBA in 1980 instead of 2003? What if he had spent his prime battling the physical defenses of the 1990s? What if he had arrived during the slow, bruising early 2000s before the modern offensive explosion changed basketball forever? Whenever people debate great players across eras, the conversation usually focuses on what the player would lose. Older rules, more physical defenses, different styles of play. But LeBron creates a different question because when you look at his size, athleticism, intelligence, and versatility, it becomes difficult to find an era that would limit him more than he would reshape it. Every era would have changed LeBron James, but every era would also have had to deal with LeBron James, and that's a much bigger problem. The 1980s NBA was faster, bigger, and more physical than many modern fans remember. Teams pushed the ball relentlessly, especially the Showtime Lakers led by Magic Johnson. The three-point line had just been introduced in 1979, but most coaches treated it like a novelty rather than a weapon. Offenses were built around transition scoring, post-play, and mid-range shooting. For most players, that environment would require major adjustments. For LeBron, it might have been perfect. At 6'9" and 250 pounds, LeBron would have entered a league where very few perimeter players possessed anything close to his physical profile. Most wings simply weren't built to absorb his combination of strength and speed. He would have been larger than many forwards, stronger than most guards, and faster than players who outweighed him. Imagine a player with Magic Johnson's court vision attacking in transition with the body of a power forward. That's the kind of problem 1980s defenses would have faced every night. In a system like the Showtime Lakers, LeBron could have functioned as both a primary scorer and secondary playmaker. With Kareem Abdul-Jabbar occupying defenders in the paint, driving lanes would open constantly. Every rebound would become a fast break opportunity. Every missed rotation would become a highlight. The biggest misconception is that LeBron would have suffered because the era didn't emphasize three-point shooting. But why would he need to? A league that packed fewer defenders around the basket would have given him room to attack relentlessly. Instead of settling for threes, he'd be living at the rim. Instead of spacing the floor, he'd be collapsing entire defenses by himself. His scoring profile would look different. His impact wouldn't. The 1980s didn't have a category for a player like LeBron James. The league would have spent years trying to figure out what position he played while he spent those same years dominating it. Then comes the 1990s. This is the era most commonly used against LeBron in hypothetical debates. The reasoning is simple. Hand-checking existed. Defenders could use their hands to disrupt ball handlers. Games were slower. Physical contact was encouraged. Offensive systems relied heavily on isolation basketball. On paper, it sounds like exactly the kind of environment designed to slow LeBron down. In reality, it might have created an entirely different monster. The key thing people forget is that LeBron isn't built like a traditional perimeter player. He's built like Karl Malone. Malone stood 6'9" and weighed roughly 259 pounds. Charles Barkley weighed over 250 pounds despite standing only 6'6". Both players thrived because defenders simply couldn't handle their strength. Now imagine giving that same physical profile the passing ability of an elite point guard. Hand-checking works best against smaller players who rely on quickness and separation. It's much harder when the offensive player is physically stronger than the defender applying the pressure. LeBron would have absorbed contact, attacked through it, and forced defenses to collapse. And once defenses collapsed, his vision would have taken over.